Hi, everyone. My name is Jim Birdsong, and I'm probably going to be the teacher for AP Physics C next year. Wanted to give you some information about the class, especially how it compares to AP Physics 1, so that you can make the best choice for your schedule next year. You can see on the screen there where AP Physics C fits into the big scope of things as far as the physics program at Monte Vista. And it's the culminating course. There's nothing after it. You have to go to De Anza to take something more advanced than APC. So it's the peak. That means lots of upperclassmen, mostly seniors, a lot of juniors. Very, very seldom are sophomores successful in AP Physics C. Some differences between the courses so that you know what to expect. The big difference is math. In AP Physics 1, you used algebra and some geometry and some trig, and you needed to solve systems of equations pretty commonly. And you could get by with a scientific calculator like a TI-84 or um, something like solar powered. AP Physics C requires that same stuff, same sort of algebra type skills, but you're also going to be doing a lot of calculus. I'm going to assume you can do the calculus on the first day. So having finished calculus would be a real advantage to you. You're going to need a better calculator than something like a TI-84, something along the lines of an Inspire CAS or a TI-89 would be necessary. Now we have a class set of Inspire CAS calculators for you to use while you're here and during exams, but you may want to have something to use at home while you're practicing. And it's a big deal. It's the biggest stressor for underprepared students in the first semesters, dealing with this math that they've never had to deal with before. In AP1, your tests had typically like a paragraph length response kind of question, and then a few problems to solve. And you were given equations, and then so you didn't really need to memorize anything. And those equations worked pretty well straight in with the problems. You didn't have to do a whole lot to the equations to make them answer the question for you. In AP Physics C, it's only problem solving. There is very, very, very rarely any sort of writing involved. Equations are provided, but they're mostly a beginning point, a thing that you can start with and then use calculus to come up with a relationship that would be relevant to the problem you're solving. And you don't need to memorize equations. You just need to know how to use them. In AP1 and in APC, each major concept typically was covered by several chapters. And we followed and follow very strict schedules, some lab work, the flipped teaching, reading and watching video things, practice in class and review all happening before the test. The big difference is the pace. In AP1, you took a test every 3 or 4 weeks. And in APC, you're going to be taking a test about every 2 weeks. So there's a lot of stuff and we go very, very fast. The other difference is the material. APC covers a lot of the same stuff in AP1 and then some. AP1 covered various things and it's sort of in flux right now with the College Board changing what's going to be on the exam. But the odds are by the time you take APC next year, you'll have covered mechanics, kinematics and dynamics and stuff, and a little bit about electrostatic forces and a little bit about circuits. APC will cover all of that stuff in greater depth with greater mathematical rigor. And we'll also add in 2 more topics, stuff about magnetism and stuff about magnetic induction. So it's more stuff at a deeper level. Yay. In both classes, you'll end up doing about the same amount of work, 6 or 7 hours a week, I would imagine. Video watching during the middle of the unit, and then a lot of preparation work to get ready for the exams, and then a lab or so. There's, again, just like an AP1, a bunch of available questions for you to use to practice, and you sort of select which ones you think are going to help you. So it'll, on a day-to-day basis, it'll be very much like AP1. In class, you're going to spend most of your time working with your group, just like you do in AP1. You're doing lab stuff, solving problems together, helping each other out. You should have 7 or so video things to watch per unit. Again, that's very much like AP1. In AP1 labs, typically we're given a very strict sort of procedure to follow or simulation to use. And you made data tables and graphs using, Excel or Google or something like that. And then you had some questions to answer. That was sort of the distance learning version of AP1. In previous years, there was a lot more hands-on and designing of labs for yourself. But the distance learning model with detailed procedures provided for you, that's very similar to what you will use in AP Physics C. Another thing that's similar about the class is about half the class will get an A. That typically is what happens. But the fact that that's true for AP Physics C, which attracts the best students for AP1, only about half of the best students end up getting an A. So what it means is that a lot of people are going to work really, really hard. A lot of smart people are going to work really, really hard. And most of those people will have gotten A's in AP1, and many of them will not get an A in AP Physics C. It is a much more advanced class, much more difficult, a little bit less patient with mistakes. So keep this in mind as you make your course selection. I encourage you to take the class. It will be a challenge. It'll be difficult, but you will be able to handle pretty much anything, not just in physics, but any college class, because you'll have dealt with difficulty in this class. It's an excellent foundation for future success in almost any field. So I encourage you to think about signing up for AP Physics C. Thank you for your time.